December 17, 1944, dawn breaks over the frozen Ardennes. A German Tiger tank grinds to a halt not from enemy fire, but from an empty tank. SS Colonel Johann Peiper stares at rows of abandoned American fuel cans, 50,000 gallons, a fortune, in liquid gold. But in that moment of triumph, a chilling truth hits him like a winter gale. Germany is utterly doomed. The engine coughed, sputtered, then died. SS Oberstmanfer Johann Peiper slammed his fist against the turret hatch, the clang echoing through the pre-dawn darkness. His driver, Unterstürmer Werner Poch tried to restart the 700 horsepower Maybach engine. Nothing. The fuel gauge read empty. Herr Oberstmanfer Poch called up, voice tight with panic. The reserve tank is dry too. Peiper climbed down from his command tank, boots crunching on the icy Belgian soil. Around him, the mightiest armored spearhead of Operation Watch on the Rhine. The Ardennes offensive sat frozen. 67 tanks, 149 half-tracks, and nearly 5,000 elite Waffen-SS soldiers, all crippled by empty tanks. Through the morning mist, Peiper spotted the abandoned American position at Honsfeld, a vital supply depot for the US 99th Infantry Division. The Yanks had bolted so fast, fires still burned in oil drums, coffee steamed in metal cups, and there, like a divine gift, stood endless rows of olive-drab jerry cans, thousands upon thousands. Peiper approached with reverence. His adjutant, Hauptsturmführer Paul Grubler, pried open a can and sniffed. Benzin, Herr Obersturnbanführer, high-octane gasoline. As his men frantically refueled, Peiper counted the whole. The math was mind-blowing. 50,000 gallons, enough to propel his Kampfgruppe up to the Meuse River, maybe even swing the offensive. It was more fuel than most German divisions had seen in 6 months. But as Peiper watched American gasoline pour into German tanks, a fog of dread settled over him. If the Americans could abandon this treasure without a fight, what kind of enemy were they really facing? Germany hadn't just underestimated it, had misunderstood the beast entirely. 6 months earlier, in June 1944, Albert Speer, Hitler's armaments minister, delivered a report that should have halted all offensives. Allied bombs had gutted Germany's synthetic fuel plants. Lunar Works, once churning 175,000 tons in April, scraped by with 5,000 in September. Plants at Plitz, Bleckhammer, and BRX limped at under 10% capacity. The stats screamed defeat. America pumped 1.8 billion barrels of crude in 1944. Germany, with synthetics and Romanian fields, mustered 33 million, less than 2%. The Third Reich waged mechanized war on horse-drawn dreams, while America drowned its armies in oil. Major Friedrich Seaman calculated the Ardennes push to Antwerp needed 4.5 million gallons. Hitler promised 5 million. Only half arrived, crippled by transport woes. The plan hinged on stealing enemy fuel, a desperate gamble, exposing fatal weakness. Meanwhile, Americans built Pluto pipelines under the Channel and the Red Ball Express, trucking 12,500 tons daily. By December, US forces guzzled 1.2 million gallons a day, but received 1.4 million stockpiling amid battle. Peiper, at 29, was the youngest SS regimental commander, Knight's Cross holder with oak leaves and swords. Eastern Front vet, he knew fuel trumped ammo in modern war. His Kampfgruppe was the offensive's Schwerpunkte decisive thrust. On December 14th, at Tondorf briefing, General Sepp Dietrich barked, "You'll reach the Meuse if you seize American supplies." Peiper's allocation, 31,000 gallons for 50 miles of combat. The Meuse, 65 miles. Failure baked in. As the column rolled, December 16th, Peiper ordered single-file tanks, engines off for halts over 5 minutes, fuel dumps priority 1. Contrast that with Captain James Rose, US 743rd Tank Battalion, 20 miles away, received 8,000 gallons, third delivery this week. Tanks overflowing. December 16th, 0530, German barrage unleashed more shells in hours than past operations, but shortages loomed. Peiper's advance started late at 0700. Maps light highways were muddy lanes. At Lanzerath, 18 US scouts stalled the juggernaut for 10 hours. Engines idling, fuel vanishing. By Honsfeld dawn on the 17th, 20 miles covered, 40% fuel gone. At this rate, dry before midpoint. Honsfeld was no major depot, just a Class 3B forward point, yet it dwarfed German monthly rations, Grubler testified. Pyramids of jerry cans, 3 meters high, 200 meters long. Yanks didn't even torch them. The fuel, 80+ octane aviation motor mix, German engines, tuned for 74 octane, choked on the luxury Sergeant. Wilhelm Hoffmann found manifests Texas to New York, Atlantic to Liverpool, Channel to Normandy, trucked 400 miles all in 6 weeks. Peiper crumpled the papers, face ashen. Private Ernst Kehrer unearthed stars and stripes. New Cherbourg-Verdun pipeline, 300,000 gallons daily more than Peiper's whole offensive. Germany's fuel apocalypse. Allied raids slashed synthetics, 90% since May. Luftwaffe grounded, pilots trained, 60 hours instead of 250. Navy idle, U-boats, snorkeling to save diesel. Civilians carless since 42. Gestapo hunting liter thieves. Farmers back to horses. America, 67% of world oil. East Texas field, alone, outproduced occupied Europe. Refineries innovated byproducts from surplus crude. With Honsfeld's 50,000 gallons, Peiper surged to Bullingen, snagging more supplies. Maps revealing U.S. depots everywhere. First Army alone held 3.5 million gallons in reserve. At the Marmady massacre, 84 U.S. POs killed. Peiper claimed no fuel for transport. By evening Stavlet loomed 2 million gallons, but Captain John Brewster, 291st Engineers, got the alert. Deny at all costs. At 16:30, as Peiper neared, Brewster ordered trails poured. Phosphorus grenades lit. Sergeant Paul Solis tossed first. Wall of fire 100 feet high. Inferno raged 3. Does enough to fuel Peiper to Antwerp and back poach. The Obersturmbannführer watched the flames silently, then said, "They burned 2 million to deny us. What are we doing?" Across Ardennes, Yanks torched. 1.1 million at the 2.5 at Spova. 8 million total, exceeding German allocation. Red Bull, 6,000 trucks, 412,000 tons delivered, burning more than Army Group B's monthly fuel. By December, motor transport serviced 230 companies, 20,000 tons daily, 3,000 fuel. Colonel James Snyder, December 18th, receipts 1,847,000 gallons, issued 1,623,000, net gain 224,000. Pluto, 1 million daily from Britain. Share Bulge Paris, 800,000, SAANG 650,000. Allies consumed 7.5 million daily, received 8.2 reserves swelling. December 18th Schnee 5,000 gallons captured, burned in hours. Tigers gulped 2.5 gallons mile. Panthers 1.5 Ardennes, terrain spiked 40%. Hauptmann, Otto Dingler 67,000 consumed since start. 55,000 captured, deficit mounting. Ultra intercepts revealed Peiper's plight. General Hodges, enemy fuel critical destroy, all threatened stocks. December 19th, C-47s airdropped 160,000 gallons to Bastogne, more than Peiper had totaled. By Sumont, tanks ditched empty. Peiper pooled 8,000 gallons. One fight or retreat, not both. Brigadier General Morris Gilland requested 245 million for January, approved instantly. US efficiency, Sherman 0.8 gallons mile versus Tigers 2.5. Trucks 8 MPG loaded. Standardized parts, Germans juggled captured chaos. French tanks, different oil. Soviet trucks mismatched. December 20th radio, convoy bombed, no resupply. Peiper to officers, we fight an enemy who burns more to deny us than our whole allocation. We can't win. General Hasso von Manteuffel, learning they destroyed 8 million, sealed failure. Colonel Friedrich von der Haidt, captured. You toss chocolate, we haven't seen it in years. You burn millions, we count liters. How fight abundance. By December 21st, Peiper besieged at La Gleize 340,000 gallons for surrounding U.S. forces versus his 1,000 PFC Richard McKinney. Captain jokes, we burn more heating coffee than their tanks hold. Patton's pivot, 350,000 gallons, impossible for Germans. Done in days. December 23rd, skies cleared. 2,000 sorties, consuming Luftwaffe crushing fuel. Night of 23rd, 24th, Peiper fled on foot, abandoning 119 tanks, assault guns, 39 operational but fuelless, blown up. Of 5,000 men, 770 returned. Advanced 60 miles, learned Allied logistics. Truth, news rippled. Field Marshal model. December 26th, 50,000 captured, millions burned. We're not in the same war. Hitler denied. Ranks new. Hoffman to wife, they destroy daily what we get monthly. Lost. America, 50% world manufacturing. Aircraft every 5 minutes. Ship daily. Tank every 7. Oil US 1.8 billion barrels. USSR 110 million. Germany 33. Japan 2.6. Axis 2%. USSS. Every post-1942 German offensive fuels us, backed by plenty. Lieutenant Colonel Chester Hansen. December 27th, weather cut deliveries to 500,000 daily quietly still more than their offensive pose, shocked by waste over firepower. Oberleutnant Heinrich Skrzynski. Abstract numbers became real, seeing waste exceed our possession. Letters evaded censors, they wash in gasoline, feed dogs chocolate, can't fight infinity. Racial myths crumbled, decadent Yanks held wealth, master race begged for. Nuremberg Keitel by 44. Immobile while they maneuvered like chess. Peiper. Every decision fueled driven, they moved free, we counted liters. Guderian. 50,000 meant everything to him, nothing to them, moreover. Industrial warfare's end. Stats over valor. Allies 5-1 production. Petroleum 50-1. US aircraft 324,750. Germany 119,307. Tanks 88,410 versus 46,857. Oil 1.8 billion versus 33 million. December 24th. Peiper's men slip away, abandoning millions in gear. 2 empty tanks. Hunter Sturmfer reflected 1975. Honsfeld celebration turned despair at Bellet. They destroy what we'd die for. 50,000 gallons, 2 days for 1 U.S. Armored Division, 3 hours Red Bull, 0.6% daily Allied supply. Major General Joseph Collins. They miscalculated, we burn millions casually. Offensive, 2.8 million consumed, 40% captured. Us, 267 million same period, 100x more. Losses, 100,000 Germans, 800 tanks, 1,000 planes. Worse, illusion shattered. Peiper imprisoned till 56, murdered 76, told historian 67. Honsfeld worst revealed, oceans versus drops. Impossibility dawned. Lesson logistics trumps tactics. Production crushes courage. Abundance buries dedication. German soldiers superior, irrelevant against factories wasting more than foes produce. Each Honsfeld, jerrycan, stavelet, gallon burned. French pipeline screamed it. US per soldier, 67 pounds supplies daily. German 3, waste. German heaven. 1984 reunion at Largleis Tiger on display. Empty gauge. Vet Wortmann to Anderson stopped. Tanks dry, you burned millions. How fight? Anderson, we never knew your shortage. We had so much, we never thought. Truth. One measured gallons, other millions. Oh, asterisk, knee scavenged cans, other torched oceans. Predetermined doom. German diary. Start 70% fuel, capture 50,000, lose millions. Immobilize. Abandon. US. Reserves 3.7 million, destroy 2.2, receive 1.8. N4.1. Beyond quantity. US catalytic cracking for superior octane. Additives Germans couldn't match. Captured fuel often backfired. Muller diary. Marched past idling US engines for warmth. They run, we walk. Medics crippled. No fuel for ambulances. Generators. Wounded died. SAV-ABL ed. Propaganda busted. Soft Yanks destroy what's superior. Germans crave. Goebbels. Morale crisis letters of US superiority. Ardennes broke options. Fuel raids. Post-Bulge finished production. Luftwaffe dead. Wehrmacht static. Spring 45. Divisions surrender immobile. Buy a line. 42 tanks. 300 liters destroyed them. Walk to captivity. Us traffic jammed by excess vehicles. Peiper's crisis. Industrial might wins. He glimpsed enemy whose scraps dwarfed needs. Offensive allocation. 5 million US destroyed. 8 daily 7.5. Peiper's haul 0.6%. At Largleis 39 pristine tanks. Abandoned for fuel. US salvage. 8,000 gallons minimal local reserves. For hours. German impossibility. American footnote. Honsfeld truth. US scale made German fight irrelevant. War over since. 42. Mobilization. Tiger in museum. Gauge empty monument 2. Tactics versus logistics. Why abandoned? No fuel. Simple. Devastating.